Let's say bishop h2, rook g2, bishop f4. Ah, then you have rook f2.
And still the bishop is hanging. Yeah,
I thought you have to play h3, h2. Then exact the pawn, the bishop, and maybe I get some counterplay. But this way around, it's really bad.
Okay, go back because that all happened very quickly.
So rook h7 is on the board, yeah?
Yeah, that's the position. Rook h7 played.
Maybe we can see the times.
50 minutes for Magnus. And Nico.
Magnus only 15 minutes?
Nico down to 10 minutes and Magnus has 50. I think 5.
50.
Yeah.
50. Ah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, I think rook c7. I don't see anything else because you have to keep these rooks on the board. I think it's very instructional because if you give this exchange sacrifice, you always need to have one rook on the board. If you exchange them, just the other is so strong. And here you see that with the rook on a7 or c7, both rooks of black don't have like that many squares, but if I exchange one, the other one will be completely free and should be very bad.
Yeah,
so I don't see anything else actually.
Yeah, I mean I was looking at rook a6, but it doesn't feel right. Even, well,
I mean, rook g7 maybe not. I mean,
yeah,
I can play more safe, but maybe bishop h6, king g8, and h3, something in the style of Tal or.
Definitely just do this, yeah.
Does it make sense for white to go rook c7 and the moment you play rook g7, that's when he would trade rooks? Like, do I win anything by just a4, waiting for you to go for this rook g7 idea?
Yeah, I mean, actually, g8 rook takes h7 might be already smarter than. Oh no, now you can take with the king, so it's not.
Okay, so let's try this.
I'm hoping that your king is farther, and I already pushed my a pawn.
Yep. This is
actually already
far
much
better.
Yeah. Takes and bishop d7. Yes, would I put my bishop on c6? I think it's going to get harder because the bishop controls too many squares.
And then, the rook finds its freedom again. And it's that bishop is the key piece. So maybe Magnus is crawling out of this with rook h7. Very interesting.
So maybe rook c7, king g8, and now bishop c6 to take on d5. Is that any?
Let's try this. Yeah, bishop c6 is better.
I mean, at least I control a8 already. So in the dreams, if my pushes.
Threatening the d5 pawn with check. Nico still hasn't made a move. He's down to 10 minutes. Below 10 minutes, it is move 25. I believe he still has to play 15 moves under 10 minutes, which is a huge time pressure against the world champion. Not looking good, unfortunately, for the situation.
He played rook d7. So at least I'm better in commentating than in playing last year. So it's already a good news.
Tell us about Nico. Are you two friends?
Yeah, actually we know each other since a long time. I remember when I came to chess, like with 9, 10, 11 years old, he was already a bar in Swiss chess. Yeah? When I started to play chess, he already went to the under 10 European Championship. So I always had to look up to him. We are born in the same year, so it's great to have somebody, really strong, pushing each other. We had even two other players that now stopped a bit playing chess. They are both FIDE master, but at least we were, I actually was never on the podium in my categories because Nico was already ahead.
Pushing you.
And so, it's just great to have somebody, pushing as much as I like to do. And I really think that now in Switzerland we have great chances to finally get a really strong team. I guess it's the first time we play an Olympiad with 5 GMs.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. So this is already one thing, and that Yannick is already your daddy means also something, We are quite a young team.
Tell us who's in the team.
There is the Swiss champion, Sebastian Bogner. He above 2600. And we have Yannick, then we have Nico, me, and Florian Jenny, which obviously Danny really knows quite well.
I know Florian well, yeah.
And so yeah, it's really cool. We are all quite young, 3 of us under 30, and yeah, all with the GM title. So obviously we try something. We can't expect that much, but it's also fun that we are all good friends. You know, we can just hang out, play some Yas Swiss card game.
Oh.
Everybody's playing that. So
we should learn that game. Do you know how to play that game?
Yeah, you can try it. Nico will show you.
Yeah, I think someone attempted to teach me that many years ago, and it's all I have to relearn basically.
Yeah, okay.
Now I want to learn it, but we have some new moves on the board. It was Bishop D7 played by the world champion. This is the move that we were scared of in terms of Black is spinning himself on the 7th rank.
Yeah. Oh,
so
well,
maybe he's just far smarter than me, which is quite cool.
Well, did he? No,
Bishop
he did
C6 is also a move.
So let's have a look.
Still a move.
So Bishop C6, A4. We were looking at A4 last time, and we kind of thought,
But now Black could go King G8 and threaten finally the pieces. Maybe it's better to go Bishop C6 instead of A4.
Yeah, Bishop C6 actually.
Is
he playing King E8? No, but where is it going?
Okay, so we'll go with Bishop C6.
Yes, so that there's no King G8.
I'm actually quite surprised Magnus has done this.
Yeah, Bishop D7. I mean, King G8 seemed so logical to me. Just to go with the rook, but yeah, this is. Yeah, he plays Bishop C6.
Bishop C6 has already been played by Nico. Of course, he doesn't have much time to think about, but it's the most logical.
Yeah, I'm not that sure anymore. Like, you can't move nearly any of your pieces. If you move King E8, okay, Bishop D5, Rook G7. Maybe this is what he aims for.
King E8.
Yeah, King E8, yeah.
So I
just play Rook G7 again. Just another way of playing Rook G7.
But now we have a second bishop that can go this time.
Yeah, actually, it seems very strange because now I can go Bishop H2 all the time. You don't have Rook G2, which is extremely important.
Yeah.
And now the A pawn is getting also, you know, some chances for white at least.
Okay, so in such circumstances, I always say, okay, what are we missing?
Yeah, this is the champion mood, so we should ask ourselves.
He went Bishop D7 very confidently. He's got plenty of time on the clock. We should see if he's going to make a move quickly after Bishop C6. What do you think? Will he play something quickly?
I think he should have thought about Bishop C6. So usually I think he has something that we just miss. But maybe now King G8, but then I don't understand the move to D7. So.
Bishop D7, it does look very strange to me. Perhaps, you know, he was just thinking, oh great, you know, Bishop D7 I can lock down. He's just underestimated Bishop C6. Maybe
this is what I just said before, that the chance of Nico is that Magnus just goes for this is complete winning, I'll just exchange the bishop and okay, is the weakest opponent, and then, you know, 2-3 moves and suddenly, and Nico doesn't seem that unhappy actually.
Well, let me try King E8.
Yeah, I'll go Bishop D5. I mean, I don't have to at the moment, but Bishop D5 to play anyway, so let's go.
Bishop D5, okay, so I'll play Rook G7.
And now maybe Bishop F3 might be a move, but yeah, Bishop F3 is actually not a stupid move. Because there's some check on H5, you know?
You're threatening to win Bishop H5, Bishop H6.
Well, I probably have to play Rook G4.
I mean, this gets really fast out of control. Yeah, and here... I mean, I could play Bishop H2, as I said, because you just, again, don't move that many pieces, but I could also take, probably.
Yeah.
Like, should be... Should it be holdable?
Now, how do we assess that? Well, at least white isn't able to push the queenside pawns very quickly.
Yeah, but now king f7, king e6, and then the rook is free. So, but I mean, I would really be amazed if he goes for that. This is just like even a4 now, bishop a4, rooks e7, bishop h6.
Nico certainly looks more relaxed than before.
He's
Yeah.
He's smiling.
What is happening?
I don't know about a4.
Maybe he saw his family in the crowd. I just saw them before.
I don't know about a4. Maybe in this case I have rook a8.
Yeah, this was maybe. Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is too fast.
I mean, perhaps after rook g4.
Yeah, maybe bishop h2, as I said.
I mean, I'm going to try and give up this rook, whatever. I'm going to play rook g2.
But you know, rook 2, maybe I play bishop f4 back and threaten again, take h5, which is safe. What are you doing, my friend?
But then I take on f2.
Yeah,
so
this much. But already if I take now on g4, it's actually quite a big difference. With you already having push, I think this might be better than before. Maybe rook c4, then take on d4. And it's not now. It's very hard to queen your pawns on the king side.
True.
Like if you can play g3 at some moments, this might be very dangerous. But now you don't have this, and
Well, I think we can say white is not worse here.
yeah, here.
And
I mean,
white may even have some.
Yeah, bishop 6, and Magnus isn't playing a move, so somehow he maybe missed it.
I
It's
think
strange.
he might have been hasty here. Too
Yeah,
hasty.
yeah. Because everything looked really good for black, but actually.
So just to recap, that is the position on the board after bishop c6. Oh, Magnus has done something.
He has played h3.
Well, I'm tempted just to take pawn.
Yeah, let's take it. And maybe now rook g7 is his idea.
Rook g7, bishop h6.
Ah,
Yeah, with the d5 bishop. I thought the same, but with the d5 bishop covering the h1 square, it should be okay.
Okay, this is really bizarre.
is it because
Thing is, how does black free himself here? Rook e8. No, still.
rook e8, rook d7?
Okay, let me get my king off the back rank.
Yeah.
I think that might be a good start.
Good idea. What was the idea?
No, this again looks very strange.
I don't think black should go in for that somehow.
No.
Let's go back.
Maybe h3, h2 immediately he wants to play, but
Bishop d5,
Also then-
h2 here.
I don't know. I really fail to understand what he's doing. And I think Nico as well is...
The problem is he doesn't have much time to...
Yeah, sometimes it's good, you know. If not, you would think it's just think, normally I lose anyway, so let's try to do otherwise, you know.
Actually, yeah, you can take advantage of not having time.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try king e8.
Yeah, he has played king to d2, Nico, after h3.
He didn't take
no,
on
he didn't
d5.
take. He went king d2 immediately.
But I think that's also reasonable.
Could be the same.
Yeah, why not?
Seems very reasonable.
So they're still up in on the 7th rank. The d5 pawn can be captured any time. What is it that the world champion wants?
He wants to flag his opponent. But remember, we are playing with an increment here. 30 seconds.
30-second increment, important.
Part-
So important.
After each move. So that gives Nico more of a chance.
Yeah, actually now I'm starting to get optimistic because the moves for black seem so hard. Like you can't move your rook on d8, you can't move bishop on d7.
Well,
your
let me
king
try.
is always stepping in some kind of problems, and your rook on h7. Okay, how do you free him?
Well, let me try king e8.
Okay. So
now I'm threatening inverted commas rook g6.
yeah, so let's just take this on d5.
Now free.
And now after bishop f3, you probably play again rook g4, yeah?
Bishop h5 check is certainly very annoying. So imagine... Well, I've also got rook g2, actually.
Well, Nico is down to 3.5 minutes. This is move 31. 10 more moves to be played by Nico in under 4 minutes.
So rook g2 is possible. Rook g4. Let me go rook g2.
Yeah, can I take or should I? No, king e2 is a bit too much, I think. Like I could play king e2 and after bishop e5 check, just king e1 and say, how do you proceed? Like,
true. Even if we would take the rook, I don't think white is worse in that position.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's a bit.
It's always dangerous.
Okay,
to have
that's
this
more
pawn on
problematic.
e2, you
Yeah.
know? But I think king e2 is actually you just say, okay, move.
So your idea is that you want the bishop on b5, therefore the rook on the 7th rank would be cutting a king and you have
Next
bishop
move, I
a5.
just take on h5 and go back on e2 maybe. Like here, bishop g4 maybe. Maybe I walked into bishop g4, which is quite bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I just covered, yeah.
That's probably.
Here it's just over, probably.
Yeah,
like
bishop
g4 and h2.
Yeah, that's
we
probably
missed
not
it.
good.
But okay, king e2 was a bit too stylish maybe.
So I'm doing this and rook g7 and rook g2.
So our clock here gives 1 hour for Magnus.
Yeah, I think there's something.
Yeah, the count is wrong, yeah?
Yeah, it's not Nico's turn. So all of you at home worrying about Nico losing on time, it's his turn. So his time shouldn't be moving. It is Magnus Carlsen with an hour on the clock, as you mentioned, plenty of time to calculate this position. And he rook g7 as expected.
Wait, he played rook g7 immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
So now we're on this bishop h6 strange stuff again.
He's offering the exchange back to his opponent.
And then h2. So if I take on d5.
Bishop h6 played by Nico.
Now that's a really strange
It's so
position.
surprising. Like I think it should be more here because Magnus starts to play very bad when here.
How does
Yeah,
black...
China's
And
more often
suddenly
and Nico will
Nico,
start
like
winning
I came
games.
here, I thought okay, it's
Exactly.
over, and now
They're bringing luck to Nico.
I mean, what is happening?
So just to recap,
No, I honestly think white can't be worse now.
that position on the board, bishop h6 just played. Is he going to call round with his king? Maybe that's what he's going to do. Here?
Took on c6? What?
What?
Now you're getting... thinking the same thing. Like, what?
Seriously? With that pinned rook on d7? What is going on?
Has he some
Right.
trick like rook d6 after rook g7?
h2 he wants to promote it, but they'll attack with the rook coming back.
Yeah, but then we can take on d6. Has Magnus found a way out?
Okay, rook takes g7, we are going to see this.
And rook
Rook takes
d6, I
d6
thought this. It's
immediately.
quite cute. Rook d7 check and you just go king e8, rook d6, h2, yeah?
So nice. So we cannot win the rook as white since the h pawn would promote. Can we just show it on the board?
It is, yeah, here. So check. And let's say here. Well, let's play a better move actually here.
Rook takes d6 and h2. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is nice.
I've just
But
played
I
But no,
think
rook e6. We are coming back with the rook now.
yeah, this is a better move. So here, sorry, let me get it right.
Yeah.
Wait, but can we go like rook d7 check, king g8, rook g7 check back?
Sorry, in which position did you want that?
Like, don't take the rook on 6. Just play this check and then go...
Come back to g7.
I don't know if it's better or
J?
worse if the king is there. And now like rook g3 and trying to get that pawn.
Well, I mean, black is obviously better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. He is better.
I would say
no, I can play rook g3 check and then take on h3. Yeah, this is what he has to do probably.
Yeah.
We are going to be joined by Grandmaster David Mara and Maxim vachier-lagrave shortly. I think we should take a final conclusion on this game.
Well,
and see if we can.
I think you can use them for the final conclusion.
But it seems to me that Magnus is better here. Having
the material count
eliminated the pawn on d6, I think that obviously has a crucial bearing on the position. So
it's a pawn up, full back, opposite colored bishops.
That's the position.
But I thought it should be worse for Nico even. So I think he's going to be quite happy around.
Well, no, but I just wonder whether he could have done better by taking on
David
d5
has some
first.
ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably it's nonsense. Just g5.
Yes, by our Grandmaster participants.
Okay, perhaps you'd like to join us.
Thank you so much for joining us now. We hope that
you
you will be here tomorrow as well and you bring luck to Nico.
Let's hope so. Let's see what he does. If he loses, maybe I shouldn't come back.
Shall I disappear?
As you wish. I think he...
No?
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, you stay. No breaks.
No breaks.
No breaks. Please.
It's a new setup.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And no mouse. We need to speak and he is going to move the mouse. I believe. Or no, actually we can give it to you. Do you want to... maybe you want to open the game first.
Okay.
But let's just finish with what you guys were saying. You were mentioning bishop f4.
No, g5.
Rook g5 check.
Rook g5.
Both of you, can you come a bit closer to me?
Bishop d7 then.
Yeah,
and bishop f4. You win d5.
Yes, you are
and
right.
you win d4.
King d6. Yes, then you take on d.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I can take on d6 and play f3. Right?
Yes.
So it looks like white is okay in this position, basically.
He should, but no, it's not back to move. But I'm wondering why.
Oh, don't look at the clock. Yeah, the
Yeah.
clock is tricky today.
Yeah,
There's a time situation, but it's not showing whose turn it is.
Yeah, but Georgiadis and Nick was like
5
maybe
minutes.
No, less. Because he had 5 minutes. Yeah. So he must have 2 minutes. So he needs to.
Yeah, he should be around 3 minutes, and there's still 9 more moves.
We're actually being
For
told
Nico.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes
okay.
left. 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he played rook g5, so he should be alright.
So he's going for the H pawn, and you're saying that this should be a draw.
Yeah, I mean, if Magnus could keep his pawn on h3 without losing d5, I mean, it would be another story. But as it stands, I think for Magnus to avoid a draw by keeping his pawn on h3, and it's basically to get into a worse position. So, and well, it's not really like tricky or anything. I mean, white would then have plenty of options to secure the draw.
David, I think the same about position.
Well, I think black can equalize without getting into a worse position by means of king e7, rook takes h5, bishop d7, bishop f4, c6, or maybe a rook. Yes, rook c6, rook takes d5, rook c4, or maybe even 3. But okay, this yes, it's equal probably. Okay, black can try playing this, but it's normally.
No, Magnus would definitely try playing this, but still,
Should be equal. I mean,
I think if you're not able to hold this with white, I mean. I've had my moments so far, but this sort of positions, I assume perhaps only that I would hold without too many issues.
okay, listen, let's turn to your game. So we've, we left the game around here somewhere. Yeah, the game at this point.
66, yes.
Perhaps we can catch up with the moves. I don't know. Like the mouse.
I don't mind.
Yeah, but I think the most interesting moment to occurred before, because I had a big choice instead of knight
Do you
d3,
see the
and
screen, or
I
do you
was
want
not
us to
sure.
move?
What?
Do you see the screen properly, or do you want
Yeah,
us to
yeah.
make the moves?
No,
So yeah,
I'm
you
alright.
thought for 42 minutes in this position.
And I think more, 47 minutes, as
Oh,
far as I know.
here it says 42:55, but
Okay, I had 1 hour 15, and then I had 0:32, so it's 47.
42, yeah.
47. 40. Really?
43.
Yes.
You both write the
Okay,
times.
sorry.
That's good to know.
Yes, sorry.
anyway,
But
big thing.
no, anyway, it was just very strange that because of course I looked at this and I just, not before the game, but earlier, and I just forgot that this is better for white, and then during the game, I just assumed that it's all right, and then it really shouldn't be. And
Okay.
of course, there's rook c1. Okay, rook d1 I didn't really consider because I thought, maybe it's not good, but what's going on? I assume you.
Yes, you have bishop b4 and maybe sometimes a5 if needed.
You take on c5, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, but then I wanted bishop d4 even.
Yes, or maybe bishop b4. Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
It's fine. So first move which I considered was c6, but unfortunately knight f8. Otherwise it would be outright bad because knight b8 loses to rook c1, bishop takes d2, c7,
Yeah.
knight c6.
No, but I
takes
wanted knight f6.
What about knight c4? Am I not winning or close to winning?
Maybe.
Do you have rook c8?
No, it's possible, but I want it.
Of course, I missed this. And what about rook c1 and f3?
Bishop d4.
Of course, I missed this again. And cannot I play c? Okay, it's not.
Maybe you can. I'm not saying that my position is, out of danger, but
I don't particularly trust it, but I admit it's not as clear as it's not as good as I believed. But okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess.
I expected knight f8 followed by knight e6. And
No, of course. It was another option.
I know it looks strange, but you can sometimes take on d2. If I move my knight, then you have knight e6. When tempo, you can sometimes castle queenside or kingside. And I couldn't find anything. So
Yeah.
rook c1 was another move, but
Yeah.
I was not sure.
This is what I wanted.
Yes, I thought you could perhaps even castle or take on c5. Perhaps rather castle.
But I think it's suspicious. I would rather have the king on f7 for this endgames.
Yes, you are probably right. Okay, c6, knight e5,
Yeah, c6.
bishop f4, perhaps.
No,
Knight
long castle on knight d3. That's the point.
Yes, you are right. Okay, and sorry, may I ask you what's wrong with castling instead of f6?
Wait. Yeah, here. Castle. I thought you can. Yeah, c6 might not work.
Knight f6. I have some intermediate
Yeah,
checks on d8 in various lines.
No, so I thought maybe king e2.
Okay, but then I think it should be tenable without too many problems if you take on c5. I don't know if immediately with a6 or rook d8 first, but maybe even.
No,
rook
wait,
f8,
no,
but-
it's not like this. Yeah, it's definitely not like this. Hang on.
Okay, there is c6, but I believe black is probably fine after knight f6 and maybe even after. Okay, I have check on d8 and knight e8.
Yeah, no, but I wanted something like maybe this.
Yes, I saw this, but I was not really sure. Knight takes e4,
Yeah, king d3.
perhaps knight d6. Okay, nothing else can be. Rook c8.
Yeah, and you bring the king. Yeah. No, I didn't particularly trust this, but yeah, it's also an option. But I was afraid that when eventually I take on c5 anyway, like my king is out of play. So that's why I wanted f6, because now c6 really didn't work. And then my idea is actually to take twice, king f7 and exchange rooks. And I trust that I'm gonna
What about
save it.
a4?
a4 now. Well, I guess I can start this now.
Yes. If I push c6, a5. Oh, you have rook c8. You are in time. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I should be.
Are you in time?
You have c7 maybe. No.
I want to take on b6.
No, but you actually have c7 now, which.
Maybe even a5 is good.
Yeah, no. No, okay, I should take. And I should. I guess you take, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and now maybe king f7, bishop a3. Okay, I take.
Rook takes.
And king f7.
Okay, rook c7.
Yeah, no, I check first.
Oh, I put the wrong rook there. Okay, sorry. So rook b7. I apologize.
Okay, now I play this.
Okay, I put the wrong rook here again. Okay, I admit it's probably rook c7. It's probably tenable, but still a bit unpleasant.
Yeah, no, I mean I just want a5 and to somehow.
Rook b5.
Yeah.
Maybe f4 sometimes. Okay, king c3 or maybe g4 first. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna.
Yes,
check.
no, king
Yeah,
b3.
and rook d8.
Rook takes and rook c5.
Oh, you actually have rook f5, but rook f5 is maybe too much.
I like rook c5.
Rook f4.
a5.
Like this.
Maybe you are right. Maybe I'm right. True.
We're getting quite deep.
Yeah, we're
Very
getting
deep.
too deep.
Perhaps we could go back to the game.
So yeah, I mean it was interesting, of course. Knight b3. I mean, on the one hand, of course, it's very difficult for me. But at the same time, whenever white plays c6, the knight on b3 is completely misplaced. So this was, I mean, not really a relief, but one where I could. Yeah, here of course one I want bishop b2, and again to bring my bishop to a3 and somehow all this, but. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's, good winning chances for white somewhere. But here, somehow, I mean, this, for instance, I trust I'm going towards comfortably with rook a4. So.
Sorry, cannot I play c6 instead? C6, knight f6, knight d2 instead of
no,
c8?
but c6, rook c8.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, is a moment, yeah. I mean.
Knight d2, perhaps? Threatening knight c4.
Maybe this is. No, wait, knight b8. No.
Okay, knight c4, perhaps? Don't I have any tactics? Sorry, I need some time now. Older. Okay.
I mean, it looks very sad after e5, bishop c7, but at the same time, his opponent c6 falls, and maybe I won't be the sad one.
Okay, and
perhaps you could show us what happened in the game, because we didn't stop with the moves at all.
We left it at c6.
Yeah, c6 was interesting. I mean, I thought it's begging for trouble, but because of course there's like natural moves, rook d1, so I wanted rook d8, but I mean, white has at least a draw in hand, and also after rook d1, maybe knight f6 was interesting. I don't remember. Anyway, c6. Yeah, knight f6. Now king d3. Bishop b2, I mean, I missed that the king could actually come to c4. And then, I mean, suddenly I was still, looking like the one who could play for a win. But after knight g4, I wasn't sure about a couple of things. First of all, a move like knight b1, knight e3 I take, bishop c5, and now maybe even take, and knight c3. And the king, white's king, is suddenly very active, and if I cannot catch the pawn, I might land in some trouble.
you can even catch the pawn on c6 and play rook c8, then I suppose. And I think it's not the only way.
No, but rook c8, knight e5.
Yes, you are right. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think you still have king f8, e6.
I should be fine might. I mean, also, but this I'm not sure that I'm right to be afraid of because
you have e6.
Yeah, and bishop c5. E6 and bishop c5. Yeah.
Bishop c5 and e6 perhaps.
No, but then like this, yeah, as well. Anyway, but I thought about all of this and I couldn't bring myself to a conclusion. And most importantly, after a6, which was very natural, this might actually be worse for me. Because I mean, pieces come to support the c pawn, and I'm not sure white's king is at all weak. So then I decided, okay, knight g4 might have been a better chance to play for a win, but I wasn't sure, and I was afraid that white's play would be too easy with the king winning, and so I settled for a draw with. Well, it's a nice way to settle for a draw.
Yeah, show us how is it a draw.
Yeah, white cannot do anything else than take because, for instance, if you place king rook b3, even I will just go knight g4, and I'm no better. So he has to take. I take. King b3, rook d3, king a4, bishop d6. He threatens the mate, so rook b3 is mandatory, and after rook d5, rook b5 is
Threatening mate again. So a fun way of making a draw.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. We missed this moment because we were focusing on the game that's on the screen. I believe that Nico Georgiadis has reached move 40, and that's why he finally could stand up from the board. Time pressure is over.
Well, it's gonna be really tough to lose, but well, Magnus will try.
That's a really interesting move. Sorry, can I have the mouse back, please? Thank you. I just want to switch over to look at the game.
It's a beautiful final position.
Sorry, could I also show some lines because I had essentially no chance now because I have no mouse. So unfortunately, I forgot about all the things which I wanted to show. So I don't know how to scroll with the mouse. But basically, starting. Okay, just tell me. Yes, I mean it was on the way, and I can't read the text now because. Moment? Many moments, but
maybe pick one,
yes,
if you wouldn't mind.
See what is written here and what is not. So I apologize for this. But maybe I could. Okay, I'm sorry.
Shall I go forward a little bit?
I had many suggestions, but now I forgot. Okay, here. Okay, wait a minute, please. Several moves ago, if you can.
Yeah.
Go several. Okay. Still some moves ago, instead of black's castling, there was also an option bishop g7, I think, because after I realized that my bishop knight b3 was perhaps not so clever, because if I play c6, I risk losing the pawn. Okay, a6 is probably not good because of rook takes. Okay, it's no good. And what about rook c8?
Yeah, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do now.
Yes, you are right. Okay, so sorry. So what you played was probably better, and okay, you castled. Yes, maybe. Yes, okay. C6. I expected you to play knight b8. I believed it to be forced.
Yeah, no, knight f6. It was nice ideas like e5 or a6.
Yes, I miscalculated somehow. I believe maybe this is slightly better for white if I take on e6 and okay, you have e6 after d1 or something. Okay, so maybe slightly better for black. I apologize for this. And okay, I just missed. I was not winning material, but after bishop b2 there was a nice line at a5. Rook fd8 check, king c2, bishop d4.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Knight b7, rook dc8.
Yeah.
Bishop takes, rook takes c6, and I don't know what's going on, but the knight on b7 can be trapped somehow, even though not directly, because after rook b8 there would be knight a5, and after rook c7 there could sometimes be knight d6. Okay.
It's funny that the knight always comes out.
Yeah. No, but also, I mean, if I may add something, I can even do this, which is, it looks sad, but is also very reasonable because the pawns are weak.
Okay, if I exchange, I don't exchange.
Yeah, you don't exchange a pair of
Okay.
rooks.
And okay, is f takes? Okay.
Yeah, playable. Definitely playable. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, listen. I think we should probably leave it there. Could we now reclaim the mouse?
You shouldn't.
This is the power. Just let's have a look very quickly.
What happened in the last moves in the game between Nico Georgiadis and Magnus Carlsen? We left it before move 40, rook g5 check. And the idea that you mentioned, he takes the h5 pawn.
Except this time, instead of protecting the pawn as we were trying, Magnus has just abandoned it.
I was trying to protect the pawn with the king on e7, which
Well,
makes
I
a
mean,
difference.
to be honest, I mean, it's not like it's.
So
Let's say it's not a serious try. Of course.
they reach the time control. F5. I suppose he's anticipating the move c3 so that he can, I guess his idea is to do this with a check and play f4 somewhere, somehow, like this, and f4, and try to claim that there's some slight initiative. But anyway, let's go back. I guess that's why he's played f5. Yes,
Okay.
sorry, David.
White can just play f3 and it's a dead draw.
And bishop f2.
Yeah, bishop a4 c3.
Much more reliable.
Nice.
Yes. That seems to put an end to matters. Yeah. Well, Nico has now a whole 50 minutes added to his clock, so he has time to think things through. And yeah, not a tricky move to find. So there we are.
It's also not the move. I mean,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I just wanted to ask you about this game. If you had a chance to look at it when Magnus still had an exchange up, did you have any thoughts on that position, or you were still playing?
I thought white should be objectively fine.
You thought it was objectively fine for white.
Yeah.
If we can go back to the moment when he played bishop d7, I just wanted to ask what they would have played. We thought that this was a critical moment, and here Magnus went for bishop d7.
I mean, bishop d7 was a strange move, but at
Yeah.
the same time,
Well, we thought simply, I think, king
They wanted to play
g8,
g8.
just to play rook g7, basically. It just bishop d7 looked slightly odd
yeah,
to
but
us.
okay, I play bishop c6, let's say.
Yeah. So we do this.
You really want to give the... Oh, I thought you wanted bishop e6.
Bishop e6.
Ah, but bishop e6, rook e7. I actually just to play a4, a5, and
Yeah.
but if I'm
But-
going to catch d5, actually,
But
that's might
well, okay.
actually be
Let
better
me
for white.
let me count.
Okay, I take.
Yeah.
I might even play. Let's say I take on g7, and I play a4.
A4. Yeah. Okay. It's really dangerous.
Rook c8,
Ah,
c4.
I mean rook c8, of course. So this I shouldn't allow actually, but in general, I mean, I feel like white's two bishops are good enough to control the h pawn. So.
Right.
But I could be wrong.
Very, very tricky indeed. Can we have a quick look at Mamedyarov against Svidler, because they must still be in time pressure.
Yeah, but black should be all right now. I mean, I
Now
was
it's okay,
a bit
but
concerned for Peter's position. But
earlier looked rather dubious.
yeah.
Yes, the moment when Mamedyarov started pushing the central pawns.
White can just play e5. It's his move, and I believe it's equal.
In his position.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can even take on c5 and play rook d8. You probably have enough to play.
Okay, b7 is hanging.
Yeah, and rook d2. I want.
Yes, but I can attack f7, then play
Yeah.
something like rook
No, no.
c7 or maybe
No,
bishop
this is too
d5
much.
in some order.
Yeah, but I was surprised that, for instance, after bishop c8 and move 18, Shah didn't play either. I mean, he must have had a reason, because I mean, I'm pretty sure he considered it, but
Yes, this is the move we thought that was looking very attractive for white.
I mean, it just begs to be played, but there could be a reason why it's not so good. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend I know better about this game.
Knight b7, knight d7, knight b6, maybe.
Bishop c5 even.
Yeah, I like white's position too.
Yeah, bishop c5 now.
I'm just trying to find the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
We need to ask Shakri about this.
he might be kicking himself.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Maybe what he had was very good as well. I don't know. But rook c1 compared to this rook c1, well, he must have missed something around here.
or maybe 5 is not that good, but I mean, you know, there could be concrete reasons that we're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here is some.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
it's still slightly worse, maybe actually for Peter, but I think he's not out of danger to say that, but
That's still
I
on
mean,
the board.
The worst is behind him.
I wonder how much time they have, because they still have 9 moves of play, and
Shakri is thinking, so he
Well,
certainly has
it's-
more time on
It's
that.
5:15, and you're getting confused by the fact that Magnus had a lot of
oh
time
yeah,
on his clock.
that's true. Yeah, I'm kind of
That's true.
expecting time pressure all the time.
Yeah, it was only Nico. So if
Yeah.
the two players, Mamajer and Svidlev, they use their time more balanced, then it should be all right still.
Listen, guys, thanks very much for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much for joining
and, we'll see you tomorrow anyway.
Good luck for
Thanks.
the mini
Yeah,
games.
good luck.
Thank you.
I don't know. No, it isn't. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Well, interesting stuff. I mean, the lines that Maxime and David were giving were so complex.
Yes.
It's so technical. I think, you know, the position where David thought for, you know, almost 3/4 of an hour. Obviously, so many different routes that to take, and you know, I wonder that he invested so much time, but clearly he couldn't see anything absolutely clear.
It was a very complicated position,
Yeah.
certainly.
But it was, sorry, if I can just go back and just show that finish again, because I mean, I
It
think
was beautiful with the piece down, but it's a repetition of moves threatening mate on a3 and a5.
so. In this position, the bishop is loose, the knight is attacked. This pawn's potentially dangerous, but Maxime discovered a really neat solution, which
Beautiful,
was rook
beautiful technical
c8,
motive.
and after pawn takes, check. Now, white is a piece up. However, black has a really nice save here. So the bishop comes back to d6, threatening rook a3 mate. Rook b3 defends against that, but then rook d5 threatens rook a5 and mate. Only one decent defense, and they drew by repetition. So, I mean, that's a really nice spot by Maxime.
It is beautiful. And also there's no knight b1 because of rook c4, so
Let's see that.
rook c4,
Yep.
and it's game over. The
Very
only way
nice.
of just repeating moves.
Let me just check that after rook d5. Now, what happens if I move the rook somewhere else? If I play, for example, here.
Now I can go rook c3,
Now rook c3. And this is now we.
threatening both mates. Well, wait, it's not over just yet, knight b3, but then it should be... How is this? Wait a second, we need to calculate a little bit. Oh no, okay, we are missing mate. Rook c4.
There we go. Mate in 1. Fantastic. Yeah. So that was too dangerous. So that's why the repetition happened. Yeah. Yes, it was actually that. Knight b1 doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh, really neat. So let's go back to Georgiadis Carlsen. And that was the position of the time control. And in fact, Nico has played the move that was suggested by Max. Just f3, intending to drop the bishop back to f2, capture the pawn here. And that looks pretty clear. I'm not sure I see a move that actually improves black's position here at all. Well, let me... I was going to say, can I pass in some way?
I see Nico smiling again. That must be that his family is somewhere around. And it's not out of respect, of course.
Okay, what happens if I play bishop a4? Forces c3. Exchange. Now, rook exchange is obviously a complete draw.
It's a draw. He has to keep the rooks.
Rook 4 check. And now...
I can come back with the rook.
Yeah, and this is a draw straight away, actually.
You don't have some more squares on the fork for the rooks.
Yeah, it looks like we're heading in that direction.
F4 has been played by Magnus Carlsen, and now bishop back to F2. So the trick was, in case of bishop takes F4...
The trick was what?
I'm trying to figure it out.
What was the trick? Now he plays bishop a4. That's right.
Okay. Simple as that. There's no c3.
Threatening rook takes c2. So after c3 takes and rook takes f4. Okay.
Yeah.
But instead, bishop f2, and he's going to take here. And I imagine that he will play rook c3 here, and then we drift to a draw after this, and bishop e2.
He played king e5 instead of c3,
okay.
And that move already was with a... Magnus had this gesture that when he knows that it's going to be a draw, and it's just the last few moves before shaking hands, king e5 was played with that gesture that, okay, I'm done, unfortunately. The disappointed Magnus that will have to shake hands and agree to draw.
So let me just clear that up. So after this, basically the rooks have to exchange, and with opposite colour bishops is a draw. So for example, this could happen, and bishop here. Well, Nico could play on. I think Nico could play this one on. No,
Nico could play for a win.
It's actually a dead draw because the king just heads for the corner, and we can just give the bishop for this pawn. And yeah, well, Magnus has to be a little bit careful. But it looks like draw to me.
Certainly heading to draw. I will check if there are any new comments on this game or the other game remaining from round 4. Use the hashtag BuildChess to send us your questions, comments regarding this round or the event in general.
Oh, that's a more reliable way to play. So just d4.
Oh, forcing issues.
And that keeps the pawn on b6. So this is a stone cold draw. So that's the position on the board, and we're expecting this one just to burn out. But it's been a really, really exciting game, actually. Okay, let's turn to Madjarov against Fiddler, because this one still has a bit of tension in it. It went e5. Whoops, e5. Now, question is, can he get through to f7? And do that. Not easy. Looks to me like black has enough counter here. Because after,
it does look like that, yeah.
After rook d7, okay, this is a crucial one actually, because we still might. I'm still trying to play bishop d5,
yeah,
or maybe e6. So
how to prevent both?
Well, maybe e6 isn't that serious. That's okay. What's he going to play? Knight c5. Is that the move?
Knight c5?
Yeah, knight c5.
Oh, and yeah, I understand. You want to just chase me away from the 7th rank.
Exactly, because after rook e7, actually the rook is trapped.
Traps the rook. So don't play rook e7.
So that's the problem. And I think that's actually quite important, because that just kind of...
Yes, exactly. So instead of grabbing the pawn on c3, it's much more important to prevent bishop d5 and d6. So in that case, rook d7, knight c5, could that just be some kind of a repetition of moves? If they want to.
That's true, yeah.
There can be no draw offers before move 40. So if they want to make a draw now, they'll need to repeat moves.
Okay, so let's be brutal and just take a pawn.
We are going to see that. Yeah, pawns off. Takes b7, rook takes c3. And Peter Swidler stands up from the board.
I don't believe this for white. I can't see a... Let's play in a brutal way. Bishop 5. Check on rook d3. I simply don't believe this is possible, actually. Okay, crunch moment with the rook on the 7th.
Yeah, threatening to take the pawn with check and come back. But then I have knight b... Yeah, wait a second, knight b6.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this here.
I need to move the king in a way that I'm still attacking the rook, that is king g8.
Risky.
I know, I'm scared. Yeah, now I can be officially scared.
But I wonder whether we could just play actively and do something like this. So after check, just bring the king up.
Okay.
They're attacking the bishop and just try to drum up some counterplay with the knight. Although the e-pawn is a little bit scary, I'm not sure I've controlled it very well.
Shahryar has taken on a6.
In this position, right. So if I take on g3?
We shall see that. Rook takes g3 on the board.
And then if I come over to here?
Yes, it looks like all the pawns are going to disappear from the board.
This looks like a draw to me. So I just come back.
It does look like a draw.
And if takes, then rook takes. And knight... he's still aiming for f7, but I think his idea is this, that after knight c3, he's aiming at this, so he's still angling for rook d7. And if rook a7, which under normal circumstances would kind of hold, then maybe he's looking to hassle the knight. Although it can still come to a4. I'm not sure I've done this in a very clean way. I mean, this is still a little bit iffy.
The idea would be that if the knight could be cut out, especially on the side of the board, we have talked about the knight on the rim is there. I still don't know. I forgot to check what it is in Hungarian.
Did you discover?
I forgot it. I forgot. It should be my homework for today. But in any case, that would be a very silly piece on a4. And on the other hand, all the white pieces are very active. This on d4 is using the rook on d6 and the bishop on c4. This could be the best chance for white. But was this forcing this variation?
No, I mean, I suspect that black can do this in a very much cleaner way.
H2 has been played by Shahryar.
Okay, he was probably worried that, for example, this, a greedy method, could also be employed here.
The greedy method?
Yeah, why not? King h2 instead, so he wants to keep his pawn. Fair enough. But then again, the king's a bit rubbish on a2.
It is. It's not like the king on d4, we just witnessed.
King's on the edge or something. I don't know. König am Rande bringt Kummer und Schand. Okay, let's see. Take with check.
knight c3. At least I have some tricks, but you will prevent bishop c6 will prevent knight e4.
Yeah, but I mean, black has...
I still have knight e2. Does it make any...
The thing is, white isn't even close to attacking f7.
No.
So, I mean, this is completely fruitless, I would say. I mean, I don't know, knight e2, I was wondering if... I mean, maybe this is okay as well.
It's on the board as well. The pawn has been captured on b5, and now rook takes a2 check.
We're heading for a draw here. No
and
doubt.
that will leave us once again with Magnus Carlsen finishing the last game. He was the last to finish every day. Isn't it the case? Yesterday too, wasn't it the case? Yes, I think, yes. Yesterday all the games were shorter, but the last one to finish was the night off between Magnus and Peter.
Yeah.
And they stayed in the playing hall analyzing how we could finish actually the analysis of the remaining games.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the world champion really works for his salary here in Biel.
But it does look as though this one is cruising towards a draw, doesn't it? Let's just check back with Magnus. Well, that's interesting. He did not go for the draw after pawn takes, and this looks like an immediate draw. Instead, he has simply ditched the pawn on d. This is funny because if bishop takes pawn check, then actually the rook is trapped on d3.
By his own pieces, the bishop on d4 and the king on d2.
That's very strange.
So he has to take on d4 with the rook. It is now a pawn up for white, but the black pieces are much more active, and the rook on d4 is very strangely placed. Rook h3 next move. Wow, Magnus trying to create chances, still sacrificing a pawn. And that's the tweet of Carlos Briceño. Thank you for sending your message to us. He's saying, Magnus's game is drawn, but he is going to make his opponent get it. He has to work for it. Nico has to work for it still.
It's really interesting how this is not an easy idea to find. Very clever in the way he's done this.
Wow,
so
Magnus still finding chances in a completely drawish position.
So there are actually two threats in a way. One is to play rook h3, and one is to play rook h2. So, well, I don't know how we give the move here, but I mean that's sort of a threat as well. Mm-hmm. So that when the king comes back to e1, rook h1 check, and then we can attack the bishop from this side, and in that way take the pawn on f3. It ain't over till it's over.
Wow, I'm impressed by the world champion. Of course, he is such a strong player, but keeps on impressing us is that he wants to win so much that he would create any chance. Doesn't matter that the position is draw. He doesn't care about that. It could be objectively an equal position, but he still wants to fight so much that he doesn't mind giving up a pawn to create some chances.
Now, I'm trying to think of a way that perhaps it's possible to simplify here. Right, what happens if I play a4? Anna, over to you.
I've been making notes already, questions to Mr. Carlsen.
Yeah?
Yeah, just the critical moments, because I really want them to go over those positions. And the bishop d7 move, actually, that was missing from the list. Now I focus. So a4, you want to give back the pawn so badly.
Well, not so badly, but I'm just trying to free my position.
That makes sense. So if I take, you want to play c4?
I want to play c4, yeah.
Makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
So, I mean, that was a lot clearer, but...
And if I don't take?
If you don't take, then I claim that I've at least managed to shove this pawn down the board. So, for example, let's play
bishop to c4.
And now push, push.
in worst case, I can take it and then go for your A pawn, and your pieces are still really weird.
Right, I'll run round.
My F pawn.
I do.
Well, I can play king f5. I take your pawn, but then you play bishop d8 and you defend it. You defend the a pawn. And if I capture the a5 pawn, then bishop g5.
Take the a pawn and then bishop g5. Now this is going to be a draw, I think, because obviously that one is the key pawn, isn't it?
It is. Let's go back.
I found a trick, basically.
You found the trick. a4.
Right. So what about rook a2? That one, of course, would send me to death. That's really easy to defend.
So it's equal material, but the black rook and the black king are both much more active than white pieces.
So therefore, king e1. Now, I might have gained from that little transaction.
Have you? Oh, because if I give a check, you go back to d2 and then rook f1.
So we chase the bishop out.
And I move my bishop.
Take.
Yeah.
And now c4. I could take and take on f3, and yeah, I've gained something. All right, so a4 isn't the move to simplify.
Still some venom in the position. Magnus Carlsen finds any slight chance.
Anna, can I go back a moment?
Sure.
In this position, I'm wondering if it was possible to just ditch an exchange, and in that way. So I play a4, for example.
You want to sacrifice the exchange so badly?
So badly. So badly. So bishop takes, then my king moves away and the rook moves. And, well, I hope I've gained something.
All right, so I need to go for your rook.
So I think it's necessary to take. Is it enough to draw? What do you think?
I guess Magnus Carlsen, that's another factor to take into account, the position plus the opponent. But we will have two elite grandmasters joining us, two players from the other position we briefly looked at previously. Shahryar Mamedov and Peter Svidler have just finished their game, and I give us their opinion on this position, but also their own game. What do you think, Daniel, about inviting them on stage?
Indeed, let's do that.
Please. Hi. Are you okay? So now do you guys need? We have some more cups if you would like to drink something.
So welcome to Peter Svidler and Shahryar Mamedov, and they've just played a draw after 41 moves.
Thank you.
The game fizzled out. We have a question.
Yeah.
We have a question back here. Shahryar, why c5 in this position? Why didn't you play
Knight d7?
f4?
Knight b6, I don't know. How clear is this? I wasn't entirely sure this is so clear.
Yeah,
Knight,
okay, it looks very nice, but if...
Knight a4 maybe?
Knight c4.
Yeah, you thought this was counterplay.
Yeah, it is, of course, it looks...
No, I mean, let's say I go knight a4, you have to probably play bishop d4, and I play b6 here.
Okay.
I'm 2 moves away from actual counterplay. From counterplay you will recognize as counterplay, let's put it like this.
Okay, so what do I need this knight? So
Maybe
I
knight
need
going
knight
C6,
C,
but
yeah,
okay.
yeah, here.
Yeah.
Oops, C knight C2.
No, I'm not saying my position is good, but I just disliked everything, and I thought this gives me the best chances of complicating the matters. I'm not claiming this is good. I just misplayed the opening quite badly, and I can't even explain why, because I've kind of lost games like this previously. Not, I mean, in this move order, but exactly this type of slow grind where I don't get out, I don't equalize, and then it becomes progressively worse. So.
In hindsight, do you know where you went wrong, or you
I have
to check?
well, first of all, Shah told me after the game, but it's very easy to miss tactics like this because you don't expect this position to contain tactics.
So
all the way back after h3.
After h3. Okay.
Yeah. This is the one move in the game which I made more or less instantly because I was planning to play queen b6. Actually, after queen c8,
Yeah,
White has no good way to protect it because king h2, I take, I go knight e4, I win the material.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But it's so incredibly easy not to see this because basically as black you don't expect there to be any tactics.
You don't look at queen c8, it looks like a silly
No,
move.
I mean I considered queen c8 in other positions actually with the pawn on h2. I was more interested in playing queen c8 there because I wanted to maybe put the bishop on h3.
Yeah.
I mean g4 h4.
For h5 is...
I will start playing for a win
Okay,
here.
this is
very
very dangerous.
bad position.
Yeah, so queen c8 probably just solves all of my problems because there's just no
Knight
knight
g5.
g5, bishop d7 once again, you know, it's still hanging. It's still the same position because I will play h6 next move.
Okay, so...
But I just completely missed this idea even existed. I take on c3 first to not give you knight e4 and then I go h6.
okay,
Yeah.
knight e4 is...
It's the same position.
Yeah, it's the same position, yeah.
Oh, but I
Just let
missed
me
it
show that,
altogether. Yeah.
because-
Shah saw it, but I didn't see it.
I play move and immediately I play h3 move and immediately I say queen c8 and it's okay.
Oh,
So what would you actually play after queen c8?
Well, I mean, if
I can also I can play h4.
that's a great choice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
no, but okay. I mean, if it occurred to me to look at queen c8, I will of course play it because this is like I win to tempi and also the pawn on h4 is bad.
Yeah.
So I think objectively White probably has to take on knife.
Yeah, d5 and
Just knight takes d5. I can take with anything.
Bishop
and,
d5,
yeah, bishop takes,
yeah.
and I don't know, bishop g5, and I don't know, bishop f4. And I mean, it's fine. But also, black is just so completely fine now. This is a dream position for black in this structure. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sort of immediately equal here, and I think bishop g5 with the idea of actually taking on f6 next move and playing e3 knight e1.
Equal.
Yeah, just to make sure you're not worse. But if I get some kind of queen e6 knight e4 setup, I will start pushing. So yeah, I just kind of I didn't expect there to be anything to calculate, or I didn't calculate.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better that you didn't realize about this during
Yeah,
the game?
yeah, it's much better to be told to the game because had I done this option later, yeah, I would be so annoyed myself.
Maybe we can move forward to a critical moment. Did you think you missed something? I mean,
I think it is a bad idea to go end game. It's better to save queens, queen c2.
Yeah, after queen c2, I'm all
I don't like black queens, everything. I mean, black is
Yeah.
white is better, of course, better.
No,
And
but
it is still my positions. I mean, I like play positions like it.
Of course, yeah, it's a very nice position for white. But I just completely missed knight e1, and this is also very annoying because, as I said, I lost a very important game many years ago to Ernesto in Kyiv, where this setup with the rook on d1 and the knight on e1 was exactly what happened, and I should have realized this is what's going to come. And after knight e1, I think my position is already very uncomfortable because it's no comfortable way to stop e4. And yeah, this I mean, the position I went for, I knew it's not good. But I was just completely stuck for ideas, and I wanted to at least change something. Like change the structure pieces, but just change the structure, change the character.
When I go in game, when I go in game, I miss absolutely is okay play, bishop b3, d5, bishop c8. I think it's knight c2 I can play, it's the easy move, because it is e6, d6, I mean, yeah. But I miss, and also knight d7, if it's not e6, knight d7 immediately. Yeah, knight c, knight d4 I calculate, and e6, knight e, and knight 6.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
And it is winning for white. Yeah, I mean, I calculate. I was very happy, but after knight c2, e5.
You can play e5, yeah.
F5.
Yeah,
E5.
e5.
E5, yeah.
E5 and black is absolutely okay. I mean,
Yeah, because the knight is not on the wrong square. It should be
Yeah.
attacking the e5 pawn. Yeah, like in the game, the knight comes to the e5 pawn. But I think Shach many ways to make my life very miserable. For instance, after e6, I was very worried actually more about bishop takes f8 and then d6. I have to
e5.
no, no, in the game rook c1, rook c1 e6, take on f8 here. King takes d6, e5, f4.
And bishop e6.
Yeah, you play knight f3 here. No, knight d3. Sorry, knight d3. No, here I can give the exchange. You actually, I think you play knight.
Oh, you mean,
No, you can maybe.
you mean like this?
Yeah, and rook d3.
Yeah.
This I was so happy about this prospect.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought this is like the best position ever. And it might actually be holdable.
Yeah.
But there was something connected with the plan of putting the rook d5. And also in the game after d6, I think f4 is more critical. But here I was not so happy. But without the bishops, I was very worried somehow. Like if we continue that variation, d6, f5, f4, b6, and the problem is knight 3, maybe knight takes e4, it works for me, but I'm not sure. And yeah, you have to calculate knight e5, who knows, maybe knight c5 is okay. But let's just look at the most straightforward way. Why just
d6 is not...
d6 is sorry, yeah, but maybe fe5 and knight g4. I was worried about everything here.
No, g3 also.
Yeah,
FE5
fe5, knight g3, knight g4. I was kind of worried that the pawns might queen, you know. From the black side, it all looks very scary. But also even something kind of straightforward. If you, after move 22, f4, bishop e6.
22 here?
No.
22
In the variation
here.
we're discussing here, bishop e6.
But,
Just take on e5.
I missed knight d6 move.
Yeah. Just take on e5. Knight d7, knight f3, rook c8, and you play rook d5.
Why you save? No, take pawn.
Oh, you want to take on a2? Okay.
Yeah. Take,
Yeah, that's maybe a better move.
take and okay, I think it is
Yeah, I
not
was
enough.
worried about some rook d5 ideas, but maybe I can just ignore it and not take ever. Like rook e8, rook e8, and just play quietly. No, but yeah, in general, I thought these complications give me... at this point, I started thinking I might get away with it. Because prior to that, I was really upset about it.
And later on, was there any...
No, I think
moments?
one very critical moment I underestimated originally, all the way down. I think it's all very logical, and yeah, knight d6 I also didn't see for a very long time. But when I saw this move, it improves because otherwise the knight might stuck on e8. I think knight f6, knight d5 is by far the best. Here takes, knight c4, bishop c5, a6, f4 takes, bishop b6. I have a feeling bishop b4 check wins. I couldn't prove it to myself, but I couldn't see how I defend here. Just force me to take on d4, and then you will have these passers on, let's say, e5 and d5, and I think they are just too strong.
Did you consider bishop d4?
Bishop d4,
Shafir?
I don't like take.
Yeah, take the pawn.
Take and play like rook c8.
Rook c8, rook d7. This is what I was trying to calculate, and I couldn't make a draw
No,
here.
and it is not draw. It's just knight b6.
Yeah, I thought about this. Rook 7.
Knight b6.
Maybe it's not draw. But take, check.
Yeah, I considered this, but I think it will be enough. Let's say king h2
Knight c4
and the e5 and
rook c2.
Yeah. Here I probably get away with it. Yeah.
e6 maybe. Yeah.
Although yeah, e6 has to be calculated.
6 king f6.
King f6 maybe I still hold somehow by.
I don't. Yeah, it's maybe.
This is because what happened in the game. I was pretty sure I calculated correctly, and I will actually make a draw like I did in the game. But bishop d4 check just scared me greatly at some point.
I'm not surprised. I mean, this is absolutely on the edge, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it basically, exactly, yeah. It's either I make a draw with only moves somehow, or the pawns will just roll over, and I will die to the pawns.
So in the game,
Yeah, no, this I felt
fizzled,
is
yeah.
Once I get the setup, the problem for Shach is that he never can actually attack the f7 pawn. I don't really care about the a6, b5 pawns. I care about not losing the f7 pawn. But I'm always in time to protect it, and I kind of thought for like 30 seconds if maybe I can be better here, but not really. Yeah. And I didn't deserve anything here. I mean, a draw is more than enough.
Yeah, but yeah, very interesting. So, should we just have a very quick look?
Some update on the game between Nico and Magnus. The king has arrived on e4.
Yeah, I think Magnus probably wants something like rook e3.
Yeah, but
and
start no idea. Rook e3 and
yeah, white ignores it and continues ignoring it. Yeah, it will be very difficult to shift this this blockade. I mean, obviously, kudos to Magnus for once again not giving up ever and continuing.
I mean, I thought it was staggering that round about move 40, he even managed to find a way to continue this position. I mean, it was quite extraordinary.
But sort of his problem is that Nico's play is just very, very straightforward here. You pick up the pawn on b6 and then you kind of pass forever. And also, I mean, if you start something with, you know, bringing the bishop to e2, the A and the B pawns might start running. So maybe something like some combination of moves rook e3, f3, and bishop e2.
Rook.
And then rook e3, bishop b6.
Take.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, I can probably even take on e3 and take on e5 and just give up the rook for the f4.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You just do this straight
you
away.
might lose.
You can.
You might lose.
So just try.
Yeah, I don't think this is actually.
It is draw.
Yeah.
King c4 is draw.
Yeah,
so Nico looks okay, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as he keeps the clock under control and doesn't get too nervous, I think he's just fine now.
Good stuff. Okay, listen, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, and good luck for the rest.
To just have a quick recap of how we got to this position.
Exactly. Magnus played rook d3, offering the trade of rooks, which normally means a draw offered. With the king on b2, could this still be an attempt for trying to win this? Yeah, because if the king is 4 and then he can get his king to e2, that would be still in position.
Well, let's
sure catch up.
Yeah, let's catch up with that one. I mean, it's incredible how Magnus even finds a chance here. For example, this advance of the f pawn is extraordinary. So just very quickly, see what happens if this is taken. Then the rook threatens to come down, supported by the bishop. And now c3 actually loses bishop on f4. That was the whole point of advancing.
This was a beautiful motif, f4.
F pawn.
So bishop f2 was played immediately by Nico. Of course, he understood the idea.
And now, very curiously, if bishop takes, then...
Yeah, this whole rook c6, the idea of Magnus Carlsen of giving up a pawn for activity. So he doesn't want to make a draw. He prefers to have a pawn down, but some kind of play still left on the board.
So rook takes, and the rook has switched. Now. So king b2. So now that the c pawn is protected, then bishop takes becomes a threat, and rook d3 on board. Golly. Well, after the exchange,
king takes.
The king is out of place, so that black can actually come in like this. But whether, let's just see whether this is a win or not. So here.
So white's idea should be to give up the bishop for the f-pawn. He has nothing else to do to prevent that pawn from promotion.
Wait a second. Maybe before he plays king e2, he shuts in.
So there's no king b3 and a4, a5.
Exactly.
I like it.
And the king is still cut across here. I suspect that's still a draw, actually, because c4 is possible in some positions. Even this is a draw. So, for example, here, and then we play c4 and a4 to draw. So I think it's actually possible
to take the rook.
Yeah, I think it is. Which of course would simplify matters. It looks like it to me. I mean, I guess he can move away, but he has to be careful about the exchange sacrifice. So after this, here, let's just have a quick look at this. What happens on this? Ah, he's got d4. That's his tricky idea.
Oh, you tricked. Wait. I missed the trick.
So
back.
If
Let's go back. Rook to d3.
If white avoids the exchange with something like this, I was just seeing whether it's possible to take this pawn. And then here we have d4.
Wow. Bishop takes, rook takes, win piece. And the f pawn is going to promote.
So I think that's the issue. So let's just
has to for the trade of rooks.
Just check out the details, yeah.
Sure.
So king takes. Now I'm going to take that pawn. Bishop a4 looks scary. I think if the king comes here straight away, yeah, king
b3
must be fine. We'll just check that. But after this, a4 here, and we do this here. Well, who's playing for a win? White should win that. So in this, I think bishop a4. Now white waits. Let's say here, and then f3. We'll keep here, and now's the moment to play c4.
Yeah, so the only thing that white has to do is to get the last pawn of black. He's going to sacrifice his bishop for the f pawn, and he needs to eliminate the c pawn with his king. Then it's a draw.
And there we go. So it looks like a draw. I think Nico is just
about to force a draw, which would be a logical result. Simply, the fact is that the world champion is trying as much as possible in a completely equal endgame, kudos to the world champion for never giving up, as Peter Swidler said as well. I've seen some tweets about this previously, although quite a while back, but I couldn't have my computer with the guests here. And the question was, so what are the odds that Magnus Carlsen converts this into a full point cast? And thank you for the... I know it's not an actual tweet from right now, but it was 20 minutes ago, so the position was with rook on h6. And yeah, there in that position, we really thought that Magnus had quite good chances of converting this completely equal position into a full point. He's trying so hard.
I think basically you can see Nico there. He's number crunching.
Exactly. When you have your calculation and then you just double check, triple check, and nod, yes, that's the one, it's a draw. It will be the first half point that the Swiss player scores. He lost his first 3 games, and today he had quite a complicated game against the world champion, but he wasn't afraid, went for this exchange sacrifice, which is, you said he had no other move, but still, he forced this issue with queen d6. The trade of queens on d6, the pawn almost dropping on d6. Actually, if we can go back to that position just briefly to sum up what happened.
I think he'd actually intended this when he played queen d6.
I think so too. I think he had foreseen this idea.
Although, we also thought that queen c3 was
interesting. We are going to ask the players about this.
Perfectly playable.
Yep.
So this is the position, and now here is a critical moment because black is threatening to play e5. So white has to react very quickly, and then we had this. And now crunch moment. If the bishop retreats, black is better. And then the exchange sacrifice. And then, well, we had this very, very difficult position on the board, which, well, who knows what was really going on. But I don't know. always felt to me as though white had enough in the position.
It seemed, but after rook c7, we believe that was another critical moment where the world champion for bishop d7, and that is definitely a decision we're going to talk about when the players join us. If there was anything better than bishop d7, fall back.
Yeah, bishop d7. So, yeah, that's the move we're slightly questioning. Although, you know, we tried king g8, and frankly, it didn't seem that brilliant either.
No, because of bishop c6.
So perhaps, you know, white is just okay here.
Maybe there was nothing better.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating struggle.
If this game is a draw, how are we doing in terms of our predictions?
Oh, well, true.
Do you want another color just to highlight that Anna is going to win?
Okay, then a big tick for Anna there on your prediction with Navarra. You said a draw, I said with
and it was a draw.
Maxime. Okay, draw Mamadov with we both scored on that, and then
oh no, we are not going to score in this one, but we said the same result. We thought that Magnus Carlsen was going to win this game. That was at the beginning of the round prediction. So, Danny, what would you say about today's predictions as the result?
Well, assuming this is a draw, then it looks as though you're going to win the predictions.
Yes.
Well, we have got the exchanges here as advertised, and I think that's the position on the board after bishop b6, and this one is drifting towards draw, and Magnus has played bishop a4. It's the most secure move.
Exactly. Mentioning the results, let's just have a look at the standings. Mamadjarov half a point from this round is already added, so once Magnus Carlsen finishes this game, they are once again the two leaders. It's going to be 2 victories and 2 draws for both the Azeri Grandmaster and the world champion, followed by Peter Swidler on 2.5 points, David Navarra on 2, vachier-lagrave on 1, and Nico Georgiadis is getting his first half a point.
Yeah, I'm almost hesitating to say, yep, draw is there. I mean, I think it looks completely dead to us, but I'm afraid to jinx it. And I'm delighted for Nico. You know, it was quite possible that...
It was a hard break to see him suffer so much.
It's quite possible he was going to start with 4 losses, and that would have been very hard to cope with.
Do you call that as 2 short castles as well?
I've heard the expression.
Because he had done, in the first 3 rounds, he has done the castle inside. And it would have been 2 also king sides. Luckily, he's about to save this game and stop the bleeding. No more defeats, at least not in a row. Clearly, everyone in the field is going for Nico. He's the lowest rated player. He's the player, the Swiss Grandmaster. Last year, he was still an international master, so he's clearly improving with these strong events. And this is the strongest tournament he has ever participated in. I think I clearly wanted to be the only host of the show, and I made Danny lose his microphone, so I'm going to be the only one who can speak from now on, which I'm delighted to announce.
Just carry on.
Speaking of the game, we believe that this is a draw, but if there's any chance, if there's any trick still left on the board, then Magnus Carlsen is going to go for it. I need the mouse as well, now that I'm the host, the one and only host. I got rid of Danny just so that you know. You don't see him and you don't see me, but I'm your only host. After F3, Nico is thinking, and he still has some time to decide. Oh, I love that moment of glory. I've been your host for 1 minute. Welcome back, Danny.
Thank you so much.
I was enjoying my time here alone. Of course, I'm just kidding. It's an honor to be commentating with Grandmaster Daniel King. I told you already the story that my first time as a commentator, well, I wasn't a commentator, but I was a guest here in the commentary booth, was right next to you 4 years ago here at the Biel Chess Festival.
Indeed.
First ever experience in the commentary booth. So back then, I started recording video series 5 years ago. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. So I was already working in the chess scene, recording video series, but I didn't do any commentary before the Tromsø Chess Olympia. That was the same year, but in the fall of 2014. First ever experience was right here on this stage, right next to this gentleman.
Do you remember the game that we were looking at?
My game?
No. We commentated on one game, and it was time pressure.
You mean 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Remember the game we were commentating
I remember
on?
one of the players, yeah.
Jeez, your memory is much better than my one. I have no idea.
I remember one of the players was Anish Giri, and I can't remember who he was playing against.
I know it was a very complex position. I remember we were analyzing one game in very much depth, but I could not recall the players.
It was
my memory is much worse.
Giri
than yours.
against, I can't remember.
Wow.
I'll look it up. But I know it was Anish Giri.
Incredible. That was 4 years ago on this stage, on this very stage.
Well,
so yeah, it's of course an honor for me to be working with them.
And likewise.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't like these compliments.
I will not compliment you ever. You're a legend.
Indeed, in so many ways. We're just coasting towards the draw here.
By the way, mentioning the credits and such, I think we already have him on the internet. We are called Team Dana.
Team Dana? Oh,
yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm not sure what Magnus is up to. He's making the odd move. I don't think it makes any difference. He's just played King D2.
And Nico is thinking.
So bishop back to A7.
How much time does he have left? I can't see the clocks. It's a question by Maurizio about this game in terms of something that we haven't really discussed, and maybe we don't know the answer, but I will just ask you if you know how much rating Magnus Carlsen is going to lose because of making a draw with Nico, since Nico is the lowest rated.
Yeah, I'm useless at that kind of thing.
Yeah, me too. And also, it's about the overall result, so I don't think that right now Magnus is oh, my rating. It's about the overall result, so he will still have a very good score. 2 wins and 2 draws is a good score. And the tournament is not over. We're just beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Magnus has something like a 20, maybe even a little bit more, 20-point rating advantage over Fabiano Caruana.
Yeah.
At least I think it was before the tournament started.
Yes.
But Magnus was gaining a few, so I think it was up to kind of 25. I would say he might be back down to even after this. It's possible.
Could be, but the tournament is not over, so I don't think that any of the players actually during the tournament think about their rating today.
No, not at all.
Another question, it's from Carlos. Thank you so much for the tweet. He's asking, what is your overall prediction in terms of the accuracy of these guys? Perhaps he's talking about this game. So how accurate do you think they played, Nico and Magnus?
I have absolutely no idea because it was such a complicated game.
Yeah, and we didn't check it with the engines. It's very difficult to answer. But from our impression of how high quality of a game was this.
I always find those kind of stats about move accuracy and
too computer-like.
Bit too computer-like because there are some games where, for example, there's just one really critical point, and if a player misses it, then the whole thing goes down the pan.
Yes.
And so yeah, you see what I mean.
Exactly.
I think one can be blinded by digits.
Yeah. Don't be blinded by digits and numbers. But if you had to evaluate this game in terms of the quality of the game, what would you say?
Like I said, I really don't know because it's so complicated.
To your taste, I mean, your perspective, subjective opinion on how did you like this game and the quality of the game?
Right, subjective opinion. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
I think
it's my opinion as well.
There was real cut and thrust.
Yes.
I think he played very enterprisingly. He'd obviously planned the exchange sack. And I simply don't know how well Magnus defended the position.
Yeah.
Impossible to say. I think it is quite extraordinary how Magnus kept just a few chances alive right at the end here. And
Exactly.
I think that is remarkable.
It is remarkable. And for me, it's an extra point for Magnus that he started with the French defense. Let's not forget. Didn't turn out so well. It didn't seem to be the best opening choice.
Well, I was going to say, I think he might be regretting his opening choice.
We shall ask him about it once he joins us. So we are expecting the players to join us after the game's over. They're still playing. It's still not over.
That's interesting. Magnus played bishop d1, and I think he was tempting Nico into playing b5. In which case, after this move...
You can't push b6, can you?
Because then...
No, I'm queen first.
Okay,
then
let's see what happens. Maybe I can play the bishop to a better square. I can play the bishop to here. And then here. This is his sneaky little trick. And now, is it mate? Queen c1. And maybe not even this.
Well, what's wrong with the bishop on e2? In this position, I could have bishop c4.
Ah, so then that was the better way around of doing it.
See, your intuition is much better than when you actually want to calculate.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do it like that. Excellent. Here.
The only thing is that if the king tries to run, but after queen c1, king b3, we can take on c3. Well, actually, no, we should calculate something else. The king might want to run away.
Okay, so first of all, that one
That's bishop c4.
is clear. And king here.
Okay, it's over because if queen c3, king a4... Oh, no, it's not over yet.
Well, you can scare the life out of your opponent.
That should be something. I don't believe that can be defended. Queen c6, king a5, queen a6, king b4.
Well, okay, there's no need to have this adventure. We've got some more moves. Of course, this whole variation was with white pushing with b5, which is totally unnecessary. And Nico, of course, just moved the bishop. And Magnus put that back, and bishop a7. So it's basically just one last little joke from Magnus. And I imagine he'll either play king e2 and take the bishop, or just stand.
It is 12 minutes left for Nico and an hour for the world champion, but it doesn't really matter. And once again, this gesture, when Magnus pushes the clock this way, so slowly, it usually means that he's about to shake hands.
Yep.
A question from Lord, and sorry that I interrupted you, Danny. It was that if we know the engine's evaluation about this position, we have no idea, but we would say that it should be 0-0-0.
Oh, this position?
Yeah.
Oh, it's complete and utter draw, yeah. So this is on the board. Oh, c4, he's played d4. Yeah, okay, that's another little joke.
Is there another trick?
It's gone d4 takes king d3. And he's going to, Magnus is just having a bit of a laugh. So he's basically going to establish a complete blockade.
He's going to take the c4 pawn. Bishop back to a7, king takes c4.
I would say they're going to agree a draw.
And it's over. The two players are going to join us very shortly. They are on the upper floor. They need some time to come downstairs and join us. That gives me a moment to just mention that the question about the accuracy by Carlos was not regarding their play, but our predictions. So he was interested in how accurate we were, but it's announced. I won.
Oh, how accurate.
Yeah. No, actually, the predictions,
but
we did poorly. No, well, our predictions, but we both did poorly. So I did better than Danny, but we didn't get all results.
Yeah, you got 1 out of 3, and I got...
No,
you got 2 out of 3.
3.
I got 1 out of 3. Yeah.
Should
Useless.
improve. Should improve for tomorrow, Danny.
Anna, I've just heard that there was a round of applause upstairs for Nico.
Oh, nice.
And, well, for both players after they agreed draw. So, well, that's nice. There were a lot of people waiting around for the end of the game, because that probably means that all the games in the Open were finished, because they actually play a faster time control.
That's true. And since we are in Switzerland, of course, most of the local players are rooting for Nico. This is the first point that he scores, half a point, but against the world champion. As Noel said before when we had him as a guest, this was a big day for Swiss chess, having one of their most talented and promising players facing the #1 player in the world. We see their post-mortem. It's a pity that we can't hear them, but we can see their gestures and pointing at certain squares, discussing the game briefly. We also have our notes on what moments we want to ask about.
They'll be down in a second, and I can see that a lot of people are coming down to hear their analysis, their post-mortem. But, well, it's nice that Max is sticking around and chatting with Nico.
Mm-hmm. Yes, certainly.
He can be, he's actually very, very objective about the way he thinks about the game. Of course, he'll be disappointed not to win, but...
Of course.
You know, he will have appreciated that Nico has played a good game.
And we see our playing venue, the playing hall, almost empty. I feel like there are still a few boards left that are still playing in the open section. So there were some games when the applause to Nico happened, but I think nobody minded that they cheered for their Swiss star.
Yeah.
Henrik has finished his game as well already earlier on. I don't know the result yet, but the father of Magnus Carlsen plays in the section. And I should ask Magnus if he had the time to look at the game.
Rather you than me. Let's just run down the scores. We have Magnus Carlsen and Shahriar Mamedjarov at the top with 3 points. Peter Svidler has 2.5. David Navarra has 2. Maxime Vachier-lagrave has 1. And now Nico Georgiadis has half a point. So after 4 rounds. So Magnus Carlsen and Shahriar Mamedjarov in the lead with 3 points.
This is the first day here at the Biel Grandmaster tournament where there's no decisive result. Every day we had at least 1 or 2 games that were decided, and today 3 draws. But we can't say that those 3 draws were boring at all. All 3 games were very exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been extremely hard fought again.
Yeah.
Even, well, Navarra Vachier-lagrave, this game was extremely tricky. And we were treated to a nice finish at the end as well.
Yeah, also the fight about the mouse. I think people liked it on the internet. At least I have seen a couple of tweets about it. Yeah, we only have 1 mouse for the moment. Some final tweets. You can use the hashtag BielChess if you want to ask anything to Magnus Carlsen or Nico Georgiadis. It's your chance. Before they arrive here, you can let us know about your questions, and we might ask it to Magnus and Nico.
Was that someone who was informing about the ratings there?
Ratings? Oh, yeah, you're right. Very good. Universal Chess Life, thank you for the tweet. Magnus is still plus 2.8 in rating for the tournament. He lost 4 rating points due to this draw with Nico. Thank you. It's good to know that was a question now answered. Wow, 4 points, losing 4 points because of this draw.
Yeah. So who have we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
What are the pairings?
Question.
My brain is gone.
Oh, my one as well. I'm already thinking about dinner. Let me look at the pairings.
That's true.
Let me look at the pairings. And we are going to be joined by the players. Oh. Not here.
Yeah, try that one.
Yes, so tomorrow's pairings, tomorrow round 5, it is going to be Peter Svidler versus David Navarra. Maxim vachier-lagrave against Nico Georgiadis, and Magnus Carlsen against vachier-lagrave. We are going to be joined by the world champion and the Swiss Grandmaster right now.
Fantastic.
Hey.
So we've been joined on stage by Nico Georgiadis and Magnus Carlsen. Well, we won't ask you to go through the whole game, but maybe a couple of. Well, I mean, first of all, Magnus, what's your general impression of the game, and what do you think was going on? I mean,
no, I mean what I was doing in the opening was very dubious, of course. I mean, it was just bluffing basically there. But I felt that he should have gone for Queen C3 quite plain instead of Queen D6, because then I suddenly got a lot of counter chances, and I felt I felt I should be better after the exchange sack, but then I missed a few things, and it wasn't clear, and maybe I was even worse at some point.
I mean, Nico, had you envisaged this exchange sack before you played Queen D6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
it's the only chance, I guess.
Yeah, because otherwise it just was.
Yeah,
I mean, if I have other moves.
Yeah.
As Magnus pointed out,
H3
in this
also
position, and maybe threaten to sacrifice later.
But I mean, you don't go for this to play a position.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I missed Rook D8 because I thought Bishop G4, Rook E1, G5, Bishop G3, H5, D7.
Yeah,
okay. I should hand them out. So I was actually, we were wondering, Magnus, what did you think of Bishop E6 instead of taking the pawn on G4 just to shut the rook?
Yeah, I thought about it.
At
this point, yeah, I mean, I'm getting them on G4 and I'm getting this pawn on H4 as well, so I figured I should be able to untangle. And I mean, besides after Bishop E6, then let's say Rook D1 takes D4 as well. I don't think I can ever fight for an advantage. I'm probably just a little worse.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as Bishop G4 doesn't lose on the spot, then I feel like I should do that.
Yeah. By the way, there's the mouse if you want to pick out a critical moment. I mean, we'll.
Yeah, since you mentioned Queen C3, Nico, did you consider Queen C3 instead of Queen D6?
Well, of course. Actually, I still knew the position, but I mean, I checked this like 1 month ago, and I knew that Bishop C7 was dubious and Bishop D6 was the good move. And
Magnus, did you prepare Bishop C7 for today, or just decided at the board that you would go for this?
No, I mean, basically, it sounds very stupid, but I saw that. I mean, I just saw Nico had no games in this line, and it also switched a bit to D4 recently, so I was hoping he wasn't prepared, and I saw that Mamedov had played like this recently, and he also played King F8, I think, and B5, Bishop C7 in a blitz game. So I thought, okay,
that was your main game in the preparation.
I mean, just let's follow that, since I didn't think without preparation he'd go for Queen G4. Now it turned out that he was very well prepared. So, in a sense, that gamble certainly didn't pay off. But
I mean,
but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't presume to know much. I mean, I was just basically bluffing and caught red-handed at that point.
Could you maybe pick out the critical moments where...
You wanted to grab the mouse.
No, I mean, personally, I don't particularly want to look at it. I just lost control, and it wasn't very pleasant. So.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think a draw was a fair result.
Yeah.
He fought well, and I mean, I think I was better at some point. Then probably he was better, and I guess again, was fair enough.
Yeah. Nico.
When did you think I was better? Sorry.
No, just after after bishop c6, it felt to me like.
Then I give it back to you. So if
Yeah.
you move.
Well, no, it's fair enough.
I just wanted to ask about the move after rook c7 and you play bishop d7. Did you consider other moves there, like in g8?
No, yeah, but I just missed bishop c6.
Okay.
So
fair
at this, I mean, first of all, bishop f5 was pretty stupid. I could have taken time to play h5, I think. No, I mean a5.
A5.
A5. Just to.
Sorry, you better.
Just with the idea that there are at least fewer.
Right here in this. In
Yeah,
this
fewer
position.
pass pawns because there isn't really any rush. Bishop d3 can always go rook d7. So basically, I just thought bishop f5 and rook a7, rook h7, rook c7. I thought I could take on c7 and this should win, but I don't think that's the case at all. DC, rook a8.
Bishop a4 first.
Yeah, a4 first and king g8. No, I mean king e7. Bishop c6. Yeah. No, and here I mean I was calculating rook, rook, basically anywhere, and so far I'd seen a5 takes bishop c8 and all in, but obviously b5 and I can pretty much resign.
So when you played bishop d7, you just missed bishop c6.
Yeah, I mean at that point I was a bit rattled and I just wanted to do something else, but yeah, I missed bishop c6 and.
In hindsight, you have played something else.
After b5,
like
bishop d7.
I mean, rook is going to g8, so you can take on d5 and win a tempo. I mean, maybe I can put the rook on h8 or something, but then you don't have to rush. Because the whole idea is rook g8, rook g4. But I mean, okay, so if I'm going for this idea with bishop d7, at least I should push h3 first. But
Well,
okay, I mean, at this point, I don't think either of us were particularly in control. And after what happened in the game, he found this very nice idea with rook g5 after... Because, I mean, rook g7 was a bailout. I thought, I mean, I don't want to look at this anymore, so I just play this, and I thought I would have some winning chances after bishop h6. But I don't think that's... exactly because of what he played. I mean, I was just counting on rook g3 takes h3, but then then I can play on because we get basically the same. But I get to king to g6 and then play bishop f4, rook e6, and king d3 is not possible because of bishop e5. So here I'm just pressing, but but what he played rook g5 is much better. I cannot keep the h pawn, and then it's just a draw.
Yeah, then it's equal.
Everyone on the internet and Peter when he joined us were praising you for keeping on fighting forever, even when the position was drawn. You went for this rook c6, just trying to find any kind of chance to win this game.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Just want to show the moment. Then can you take it down, see properly? Rook c6.
Yeah, this idea around wherever it was.
Yeah.
Actually, there were still some tricks I had to avoid.
Yes, we thought it was still some potential.
Yeah,
but I thought
this was incredible how you managed to squeeze even something.
Actually, no.
Nico, were you kind of thinking, "Oh my God, I thought it was over"?
I thought the game was
This guy
finished
never
after
stops,
c3.
right?
Yeah. Rook c6 and somehow it's still some tricks with rook takes f3, and if I play like king b2.
But after rook h6, you can play c4, I think.
c4, bishop takes.
Then rook f4.
Now
I think it works. Yeah, the pawn ending is strong, I think.
King e3, b5. Yeah, I was.
King e3.
King e3, b5.
No king e3. You have to play a4. This is the point.
Yeah.
Takes c4, take f3.
Rook f2, rook takes c4,
Yeah, rook
rook
f4,
f3.
rook c4, rook 3 takes an a4. But okay, I mean you don't want to calculate that unless you have to.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, I mean in the game it's drawn as well. You just have to watch out not to put the bishop on d4 at the end.
At the end.
Let's say here, yeah. No, not right here. Before king e2.
Yeah.
The point is bishop with the bishop on e4, then I go to e2 and f4, king d3, right?
Okay. Still another trick.
Funnily, I mean, if I could somehow force the pawn to a5, maybe I could have some chances, because then I can put the bishop on b5 and control everything on one diagonal. But here c4 is quite simple. So.
Yeah, no, last trick. No, I mean, incredible how you still managed to squeeze. But anyway, Nico, I mean, well done for hanging on with time pressure again. Extraordinary. You're an addict. You're a true addict.
Well, yeah. Actually, I wanted to avoid it today. I wanted to avoid it today.
Well, you didn't succeed, did you?
When I had to calculate queen d6, I already realized that it's not going to.
Anyway, listen, guys, we'll let you go. It's been a long day. Thanks very much for coming down.
Thanks and good luck.
See you.
Well, what a day. 3 draws, but all of those draws were very exciting. And this last game that we have just finished, the analysis between Magnus Carlsen and Nico Georgiadis, we have learned a lot. Even dead draw positions can have some tricks like this pawn in game and sacrificing the pawn with rook c6. I think that's one of my favorite moves from this game.
Yeah, I mean, extraordinary. Yeah, more and more tricks. It was absolutely fantastic. Listen, Anna, let's wrap things up. Already been a long day.
I sense that you're hungry.
You sense absolutely correctly.
Are you hinting at a dinner?
Hinting?
Early dinner?
It was a hint as strong as some of your hints.
Yes, exactly.
So let's wrap things up. So we had basically 3 draws today, and just very quickly, the tournament standings. Carlsen and Mamedyarov in the lead with 3, Svidler 2.5, Navarro 2, Maxime vachier-lagrave with 1, and Nico Georgiadis with a half point. I think from us, time to wrap up.
Yes, we mentioned already tomorrow pairings will be back same time, same place. Use the hashtag BealChess to let us know about your opinion on the previous games, the competition, and just simply say hi to Danny and wish him better luck for tomorrow's predictions.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.